It's 6 AM and today we developed an entire game while being on a train.
That's my seat.
You know, as a game developer, you don't really go outside that much. You spend your entire life sitting in a room, solving problems you caused yourself. That's why I want to see if I can do that while traveling. The idea of the game is simple. You are on top of a train fighting until one of you falls off. It's local co-op, so you can play with your imaginary friends. We are on a trip to northern Germany, starting in my hometown, Cologne. The plan is to use the outward journey to make the player and the entire gameplay loop, so that on the way back we only have to make the environment and polish the game. So let's make the player. We want to give him physics-based movement, which is something I did before in my game World of Undead, so... Now all we need are animations for everything the player can do. Here's how it looks so far. We can move around, jump, attack, parry, and dash. Okay, wait, the dash isn't supposed to. And dash. Easy!
Halfway there.
Before I get distracted by anything else, let's make sure we have a gameplay loop.
At this point, let me explain what a gameplay loop is. So, every game has some sort of gameplay. For example, we're fighting another player on a moving train. That's our gameplay. But at some point, one of the players will fall off the train. If this happens, one of them is determined the winner. And the gameplay, first of all, ends. It ends. That's an E. It ends. And now, in our specific case, the loser can request a revenge, and if the winner accepts this, then they will go back to the gameplay. They will just fight again. If the loser gives up or the winner declines, they will go back to the menu. And in the menu, they can then press play again, which will make them play again. That's the general concept, and usually you have some sort of reward here and some other shit. But that's the concept. This is what we have to do now. That's important to understand. I hope you do now.
A couple minutes before arriving, I noticed a weird bug. I tried to fix it, but we're about to arrive at our next stop. We're now at the first stop on our way to northern Germany, Hamburg Central Station.
We apologize for any inconvenience.
Usually German trains are very unreliable, but the one we've been on was perfectly on time. Hopefully the next one will be the same. Oh, oops, it has a 1 hour delay. But that's alright, we're in a huge shopping mall. They even have McDonald's. I tried to order a Big Mac, but for some reason they only let me order breakfast. So I just got a sandwich. 6 out of 10. So we went ahead exploring the train station. Oh, the train was cancelled. Nice. Eventually we found another train going in the right direction. Nope, not that one. This one. When buying tickets for this trip, I made sure that it only includes trains that have seats with tables and trains that aren't very crowded. You know, so it's easier to make the game. But now we just have to improvise a bit. I was able to fix the bug from earlier. All I had to do was to rewrite all of the movement. The game now technically works. All that's missing are the graphics, sound effects and UI. But we'll have to care about that on the way back tomorrow.
This is the North Sea. Yep. Kinda cool.
Was?
But also underwhelming in a way.
Wie ist mit der Kamera oder was?
For some reason we explored the harbor area. But turns out there's nothing interesting there except for snow and even more snow. So we walked back. After having a coffee, we tried to figure out how to get to the hotel. It's the first time I booked a hotel room and
Oh, whoa.
I accidentally booked it on my girlfriend's name, which I was laughed at by the receptionist and my girlfriend.
Okay, so this is the cheapest room I could possibly book in this city. And it's massive. Like, it's clean, I think, so far. Yeah. We have 2 beds, a bathroom, a TV, 2 chairs, and a girlfriend. This one doesn't come with a room. I think Americans would put guns here, but...
I spent the night editing this video up to this point, and now it's 8 AM. So... let's get going. Shoot! We were hungry in the morning, so we tried to go to a cafe, which turned into a small hike.
Nee, ich habe das Gefühl, wir sind hier falsch.
Ja, tschüss, ich auch falsch.
Sag.
But eventually we got some breakfast.
Moin. Moin.
After that, Stina wanted to go to the Christmas market. That's why we're heading to the city.
Und kannst du mal essen?
Was ist da passiert?
Das war doch ein Video.
Aufmachen? Danke. Gerne.
Now our mission is to make the graphics. The idea for the background is to split it up into multiple looping layers. For example, you see the mountains here. Once they move out of the player's field of view on the left, they are simply moved back to the right edge of the player's field of view. We do the same thing with grass and landmarks and clouds and another layer of clouds that is higher and moving slower. And yeah, it looks kinda cool, but it's also very performant. Meaning, your computer is gonna run it without any problems. I think. Actually, don't quote me on that. Next up is going to be the UI. Also, we're back at Hamburg Central Station. Last time we were here, our train first got delayed and then cancelled. But you know, that was yesterday. And we shouldn't generalize off of one experience. Oh, our train got an 80-minute delay. That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. The German train company thing, you know, Deutsche Bahn, has a lounge for people with delayed trains. Here they help people to get to their destination using other trains. Just like the app, but human, I guess. They told us a train we could take is leaving in like 1 minute. So we sprinted down to the track, but it was already gone. For me, it doesn't really matter how late we get home, but Stina has to get up at 5 AM tomorrow. So it's a priority to get home fast. We spent some time in the warm lounge, and a couple minutes before our delayed train was about to arrive, we walked back to the track. And there it is! Finally! Our train! Yep, that was the train with the 80 minutes delay. Stina was kinda mad.
Ich will hier nicht mehr sein.
But only 30 minutes later, a replacement train for an ICE arrived that would go roughly in the right direction. The main mission here is to make the UI. In the menu you can assign the names of the players, then when pressing play, the game is going to use the names to calibrate which player is who. I tested the game with Stina for a bit, and from this I learned it's hard to distinguish who is who while fighting. So I made the second player be a cowgirl, and I made sure the names are displayed on top of the players as well. Recently I bought a ton of audio assets in Humble Bundle, so I tried to download them, but Humble Bundle wouldn't let me sign in. It's not a huge deal or whatever, but that's why we don't have any sound effects.
Kennst du das magische Dreieck noch damals? Ja?
I'm not sure what was up with this dude. He told me about some magic triangle. I wasn't sure if he is high or if he tries to distract me so the guy behind me can steal stuff from me.
Cologne, yeah, we're heading to Cologne too.
A couple days later I decided to properly finish this game by adding sound effects to it. The video where I show how I did that will be on the end screen in a second. If you want to play the game, there's a link to an itch page in the description. Let me know if you actually play it with someone and how it went. Shoot me a DM on Discord or just write a comment. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. You have a good one.